Hello again. So,
Unfortunately,
tough journey.
I don't.
I was hoping you'd...
I was hoping that I was gonna make enough money to be able to buy myself a harem of exotic dancers called Chantel. But it looks like we're both gonna be disappointed.
Is there any way I can persuade you to let me on your ship?
Is there any way I can persuade you to go away?
What was so bad about the last voyage?
I told you I don't want to talk about it.
Sometimes it helps to talk about these things. All right, let's...
Boy, that...
I did... I'll see you around, Captain. The crates on the wharf were built on a large frame, sturdy and thick. I didn't much like being jammed into a crate and loaded onto the ship, but I could think of worse fates. Like being jammed into a crate full of rats and loaded onto the ship. What's your name then, little fellow? The hold was dark and dank, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone. I pulled the label out of the wreckage. It had writing on it that I couldn't understand. It was just flotsam. There was nothing of value in the debris. The crates were too heavy for me to carry, even if I wanted to. I didn't think there was much I could do with the debris. I searched a bunk and found a small scrap of cardboard. It could have been anything. There was a number on the back. Either a 6 or a 9. It was hard to say. I searched one of the bunks but found nothing useful, and nothing I wanted to think too closely about. I'd managed to remain hidden on the ship, but I knew my luck couldn't last forever, because I'd stopped being lucky around age 12. The first mate looked less than happy, but I don't think he saw who I was as I dived in elegantly onto the Ankh. Fortunately, the crust of the Ankh was soft that night, and I escaped both injury and discovery, although I needed 2 baths just to feel dirty.
to... Not for much longer, I hope.
I decided it wasn't a good idea to give away the fact that I'd stolen aboard his ship. Hello again. Hello. Can you read this? Give me a break, Luton. I don't know everything. Does this mean anything to you? No. Catch you later, Nobby. Like measles, maybe. Or athlete's foot. The trawl stepped out of the shadows like light was too intimidated to illuminate him. He seemed like the quiet sort, but you got the feeling that if you stepped out of line, you'd get your teeth kicked down your throat. For that matter, he could kick your throat down your chest and your chest through your legs. But I was hoping it wouldn't come to that, because none of my clothes would fit.
Find Therma.
Sorry, friend, I don't understand.
Find Therma.
You want me to find Therma? Is that it? Well, what is it? A person? A thing? Look, if we're going to carry out a conversation, it'd help for you to talk.
Find Therma.
Okay, find Therma. What's your name, friend? There was something about a trawl that big that made you want to call him friend.
Malachite. Find Therma. You've got to find her.
I wasn't about to argue with a trawl that could twist my head off and use it as a cocktail onion. Okay, friend, what can you tell me about her? Any suggestions of where I should start looking?
Used to sing at the Octarine Parrot. Find Therma. Got to find Therma.
How can I contact you?
Find Therma.
That was all he said. I guess he wasn't very bright. But then there's things under damp logs that are brighter than most trawls. I'd heard of the Octarine Parrot. It made other dives sound appealing. What a place. I could feel the rats in the walls. Hell, I could see the rats in the walls. In fact, some of them had come out of the walls and were sitting at the tables.
I could see her a trail of destruction. Sandstone eyes, marbled feet.
Can I help you? You could sell me a drink. What's your poison? I'd prefer whiskey, straight with a whiskey chaser. You didn't come here to drink, did you? Well, I didn't come here for the sparkling conversation. Most of the customers go squeak, squeak. This seems like a nice place. No, it doesn't. It seems like what it is. A wretched hive of scum and villainy. It's tough to get to the top in that field. You could have that on a sign outside. Come to the Octarine Parrot, the most wretched hive of scum and villainy this side of the Ankh. Are you being funny? Apparently not. You look a little nervous. I can't shake the feeling that sooner or later someone is going to get their arm cut off. Have you always owned the parrot? No. It used to be a trawl bar. I took over the place after the riots. Did you keep any of the staff? Sure. I kept anyone who wanted to stay and wasn't too badly injured by the riots. But there's something about a group of rioting trolls that makes people reluctant to walk back into a place. Or indeed, unable. Did you keep any singers on the staff? Only Sapphire. It's not often I see a half-elf bartender. Be honest.
It's not often you see a half-elf.
Okay, you got me. What's the deal?
I don't like to talk about it.
I thought elves were supposed to be irrepressibly likable, so that they can get away with whatever acts of cruelty they want, like cats.
Well, I'm not an elf, all right?
That's the problem, isn't it? Everyone can see that you've got elf blood in you, but you've got none of the advantages. All you get is people's prejudice.
I don't like your manner.
I'm not selling it. Tell me about Sapphire.
Why don't you just talk to her yourself? Just don't bother her while she's working, all right?
I gave Mencken Mundy's description and asked if he'd seen him. He told me that he hadn't. Maybe I could trust him. A half-elf doesn't need to make any more enemies. Do you know anything about the Milker?
If you asked fewer questions, maybe you'd get more answers.
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
I know a lot of people. That doesn't mean I want to talk about them with you.
Do you know a woman named Ilsa or a man named Two Conkers?
I know a lot of people. That doesn't mean I want to talk about them with you.
What do you know about a dwarf named Alkali?
I know a lot of people. That doesn't mean I want to talk about them with you.
Do you know someone named Therma? She used to sing here.
That'd be before my time. Sapphire might know. She knew all the troll singers from back before I took over the parrot.
Do you know of a troll who goes by the name of Malachite? Tall, terse, and dense, in both senses of the word.
Might have been one of the customers from when this used to be a troll bar, but I wouldn't know him if he was.
Do you know anything about the recent murders?
Only what you're about to tell me.
You're not very helpful, are you?
Just because I don't want to help you doesn't mean I'm not helpful generically. Say, I do like your hard-boiled dialogue. How long do you boil it?
About 12 minutes from when the water begins to bubble. Until later, Mencken. There was nothing I could do with the stage other than be glad I didn't have to perform on it. Come and see the greatest historical tragedy ever told, Antilogy and Cleopatra, Whell's masterpiece as 'twas meant to be performed by actors. Eat at Harga's House of Ribs, all you can gobble for $1, menu available. Famous wherever huge appetites gather and mountainous stomachs rumble. Can we talk?
Certainly look that way. Move mouth, waggle tongue. Yeah, it all working.
My name's Luton.
Sapphire.
I could already tell that Sapphire was a troll who could look after herself. I knew I'd have to watch my step around her. It was quite a long way round her, too, and not the pretty way. You been a singer here long?
Long enough.
Long enough for what?
Long enough to want to be singing somewhere else.
Tell me about yourself.
I'd tell you about myself in 4 words. Big ideas, small results.
Why did you become a singer?
Aren't many jobs for a troll like me. And at least this one honest.
Is honesty important to you?
As much as anything else.
I'm guessing nothing much matters to you right now, Sapphire.
You catch on quick, Luton.
What do you know about the barman?
Mencken? Not much. Know that him a bigger loser than me.
How come?
He owns this place. At least Sapphire leave if Sapphire wants to.
Why don't you leave?
Where would I go? No place on disc for a troll like me. Spend our whole lives waiting for break. Just one chance to come our way that can seize in both hands tightly. But it never come. Or if it do, we don't recognize it. So we go back to grind of job we hate. And just keep on ticking each day, one step closer to end.
Do you do children's parties? Have you heard of a troll singer named Therma? She used to work here.
Huh, a troll singer named Therma.
What's so funny?
Huh, nothing. Sure, Sapphire know her.
Know where I could find her?
Try morgue. She dead. Her house on Tallow Street collapsed while back now. We trolls may be tough, but we're not indestructible. Rumors say she was practicing her moves and knocked out load-bearing beam. Brought whole place down on top of her. That's why Sapphire never practiced.
That's the only reason.
That, and I don't wanna.
Know where she's buried?
Sapphire don't know, but think they buried her under stage name Madame Lodestone.
Madame Lodestone?
Sure, on account of how attractive she was.
I don't suppose you'd know a big troll called Malachite.
Sure, he troll a few words, 'cause he don't know that many.
Do you know where I could find him?
Sapphire not seen him in years, but you try Rodin's workshop. He used to hang out there.
Word is there's been a lot of strange murders recently.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Why not?
There are a lot of strange people in this city.
What do you know about a dwarf named Alkali?
Sapphire know a lot of people, but don't know everyone, mister.
Do you know a woman named Ilsa or a man named Two Conkers?
Sapphire know a lot of people, but don't know everyone, mister.
I'll be back. You wouldn't happen to be Rodin, would you?
Ah, I know that one. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Take your time.
Yes. Yes, I think I am Rodin. How can I be sure?
Beats me. I had a note from my mother the day they did philosophy at school.
You must conceive form in depth.
Why?
Do you know, I don't remember.
It figures.
What do you make of this?
I stared at the statue he was working on. Face to face with art, we shuffle our feet and apologize. We say, I don't know much about art, but I know what I like. Well, most people do. I can't even say I know what I like. But that's not the point. The point is that if knowing what you like is good enough for shoes and drinks and women, what's wrong with applying the same rule to art? I guess people don't like to look stupid. Personally, I think art's for guys who couldn't do basic maths.
Do you like it?
Well, I don't know much about art. Sometimes I could be such a coward. So you're a sculptor, then?
Yes. Yes, I'm reasonably sure I am. Something like that, anyway.
Why do I get the feeling that you aren't going to be much good at small talk? Do you know a troll named Malachite?
Malachite. Malachite. It sounds familiar.
In your own time?
I think he works for me. Or he did work for me. No, I think he must still work for me. Look, there he is over there.
You're a tough troll to find, Malachite. You could say something. Okay, so I'll do the talking. So how you been keeping, Malachite? Okay, I guess you don't want to talk about that. This where you're staying at the moment? I guess you're not going to talk about that either. Heard any good jokes recently? How many trolls does it take to change a lamp wick? Want me to give you a clue? It'd be really useful if you could tell me something about Therma that I could use to find her.
Therma. Find Therma.
Yes, I know that part, but I need some leads if I'm going to find her.
Find Therma.
Malachite wasn't being very helpful, but he was tall and threatening, so I guess everyone has something going for them. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think Therma might be dead. Her house collapsed. She's been gone a while. Are you going to say something?
Need to see the body.
The body?
Find Therma. Need to see body.
Okay, the body. No problem. Sheesh. Always a pleasure talking at you, Malachite. I don't know why I thought stealing the grapple would be easier than talking to Malachite. It wasn't. Hello again.
Hello.
Have you ever heard of a troll by the name of Madame Lodestone?
Madame Lodestone? No, there's a name I've not heard in quite a while.
You know her then?
Well, no, but I've heard of her. She died in some sort of construction mishap.
A mishap, Nobby.
Whatever. Anyway, if memory serves, they put her body in the Salachi mausoleum. Don't know how she ended up in such an exclusive establishment, but that's how I heard it.
That doesn't sound very likely.
You did ask.
The Salaci family mausoleum was one of the most beautiful buildings I'd ever seen, nestled in an upmarket part of the city of Ankh. It was unguarded because, quite frankly, no one in their right mind would do anything to offend the Salaci family, given their ties to the Assassin's Guild. It wasn't just something that wasn't done, it was also something that wasn't survived.